Hey guys, today we're talking about Bramble the Mountain King. I'll show and I'll explain how to fight the bosses in the game, and I'll try to give you some background info on the boss and if this background info was in the game. So, first guy is Butcher. We don't have any solid info background on him. It's the first boss, so it's pretty easy. You're just running from his cleaver, and every third strike his cleaver is stuck. And when it's stuck, there are some chunks of meat falling on the table, so you just have to pick it up and throw it into his eye. You just need to repeat it a couple of times and you win. Okay, our second guy is pretty much creepier than the butcher. His name is Nakin. He was a musician in his past life, but people from his village did not appreciate his playing on violin. People of the village was picking on him and bullying him, and the only soul who's not was one girl who fell in love with him. One day, Nakin's anger finally took over him, and he marched through the village, playing forbidden melodies, which made people dance until their flesh just fall down from their bones. But his love wasn't spared in this dance. So he moved to the swamps to drown his sorrow, and from the swamp his music still luring people to the deadly traps. Nakin fight is pretty easy, you just have to run away from him, and when you drop into the water, you just have to navigate your character to not hit the stones. After the fall, Nakin also jumps and he dies. So you eventually win. Our next boss is a swamp midwife. It's a swamp witch who lured local girls to sacrifice their little kids in the swamp to the dark forces. This fight is pretty easy, just look to the water, and when you see the disturbance, just watch carefully, boss will jump, just hit it with a light. In a little peaceful village near the forest, people began to see a beautiful dark-haired woman every full moon. Local men began to follow her into the woods, but no one ever returned. So people took the justice to their own hands, and they started to kill all the dark-haired women of a certain age. After a time of trying and not finding that woman, most brave of the villagers just gone to the forest, and they saw the beautiful dark-haired woman, who enchanted them. She ripped their chests open, hung them in the trees, and drew strange powers from their still beating hearts. So yes, now we're fighting for a shapeshifter. This is 3 phases fight. In the first phase, we're just running and hiding in the trees from her magic missile, and we're shooting the hearts of hanged men on the trees when we got opportunity. When she does a wave magic, we need just to jump. After she losing power, we got the opportunity to strike her. On the second phase, pattern is the same. She got couple more moves, but we're still running in the trees and shooting the heart. Here we just need to watch the ground beneath. Cause she's new, spell here is some bloody wells on the ground, you just can't step on it. It's little more intense cause she's combined the old moves with the new moves, but still, when you got the right timings, it's become pretty easy to defeat her. So, after the second strike, we get the third phase of the boss. There are no trees here. She just spawning area attacks, so you just jump, crouch, move, and shoot the hearts. After, you got another opportunity to strike her in the heart, and it's the last one. You can spare her, or you can kill her. I'm just an asshole who killed her. So yeah, don't do my mistakes. So now we move into another peaceful little European village. Once was a plague in the village and people blamed witches. So, after great witch hunt, we thought there will be peace. But we started to see in the nights strange woman with a rake in her hands. In every house she was passing by, in the morning people was diseased. But this time disease was worse. Death from this plague began to rise. And of course this death was turned into zombies and started to attack other people. That's it. That's how it's simple. So now we're destined to fight Plague Witch. It's also got 3 faces, and it's really a dark one. I mean absence of light, not the darkness of the game. So you have to look very carefully what you're doing here. In the first phase, she's just shooting some rats from her mouth. You just have to look on the glowing eyes and try to avoid them. Next attack, you just see her faces. After the first shot, one of the faces begin to be sick. So you have to shoot the sick one. And the third attack, she's just trying to reach you with her rake. You just have to see the empty space in the rake and try to avoid the strike. Now let's get to the second phase, shall we? Now here we got the same pattern of the faces attack, but now we got a new rake strike. So when you see the rake, you have to jump. And the new attack, I hate it so much, you just see her face under your and you exactly standing on her mouth, so you have to jump and run or she will eat you. So after, we're moving just to the third phase of the boss. She pretty much doing the same what she did in the second phase, just more quickly. But when you know all her patterns of her attacks and timings, it's pretty easy to complete the third phase. So it's a win. So now we're moving to the mountain. So I'll make it quick. There was a good king. His name was Neil. His wife died, giving birth to their child. But kid was sick, so he seeked the power of the witch. No one could help him, so he killed lots of witches. But in the end he found one who gave him the right potion. But where was the prize? His son recovered, but revenge is a knife in the heart. So the king had no more reason to hold his darkness inside. So king turned the bloom he's got for life to death. The witch seen this horror and turned his castle to the mountain and the prison. And at last we're fighting the king himself. It's also 3 phases boss fight. In the first phase, he just trying to reach you with the fork or to stab you with his knife. Your mission is not to be stabbed, just shoot the flowers on his shoulders. In the second phase, he just reached for his sword and a scepter. This part is really challenging. When he hits with his scepter, stones just falling on the desk and you have to watch carefully shadows of the falling stones. And still run and shoot the flowers on his shoulders. When he's attacking with his sword, you have to jump twice. First time on the first hit and the second time when he's just bringing the sword back to its place. And he also got a magic attack when he just doing kinda wave from both of his weapons, so you need just to crouch. So at last, king is dead. Hail to the king, baby. Now we completed Bramble the Mountain King. Thank you for watching. Join my channel if you like some other videos like this.